A beautiful day greets the crowd here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the location for stop number 4 in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. As we are set today for the running of the Motorcraft 500s, we're set for 50 laps of action on this 1.522 mile racetrack. This is the old Atlanta layout, not the current layout of Atlanta, by the way. But we're set to see what happens here today. On the pole for this event, Dylan Poteet at 188 miles an hour has the pole for this event. He'll be alongside Charles Sanford in 22. The Bellside Mobility Chevrolet starts alongside. Second row, Sky Cummins in car number 9, the cartoon number Ford, and he'll be alongside car number 45, Seth Cole, fresh off the third place run at Richmond, the last race on the tour. On her third row has Jessica Shelton starting inside row 3. She'll be alongside William Brock in car number 4, the Kodak Film Chevy. Next row down has Shane Lake in 30, the Jimmy Dean Sausages Pontiac. He'll be alongside the former Atlanta winner, in fact, with this very car, as a matter of fact. Keith Batson has the outside of row number 4. Inside of the fifth row has Jesse Turner, who nearly pulled it off at Richmond in the last race on the tour. He hopes to vindicate himself here today at Atlanta. He'll be alongside car number 90, Quentin Moore, the Hills Brothers copy Ford. Next row down has two veterans in the field, and one former Atlanta winner, Cole Deaver, in the GM Goodrich Chevy car number 3. He is from the state of Georgia, as a matter of fact, Brunswick, Georgia, as a matter of fact, to be honest. Flanking him outside would be number 25, Johnny Gardner in the Budweiser Chevy. Next row down, Joshua Osborne in 99. He'll be flanked by number 11, Emmanuel Hartnett. Then it's Jay Jefferson in 1 and Joshua Collard in 43. Next row down has Rob Evans, the Daytona 500 champion, in car number 12, the Mobil 1 Ford. He'll be alongside the 26 Cheerios Ford of Ryan Brommer. Next row down has car number 24, the winner at Richmond this season, Kyle Matthews, and he'll be alongside number 60, Chris Dallerton. Matthews, by the way, the winner last time he was here at Atlanta last season. Dallerton, by the way, has one of our in-car cameras in today's event. Next row down has car 36, Kev Shear. He has our second in-car camera, and he'll be alongside 28, Texaco Haviland Ford of Cat Batson. Next row down has number 5, Phil Parker, and 44, Mike Becker. Next row down after that will be car number 2, Dylan Young, who has our third in-car camera, Miller Lite Ford. He'll be alongside number 31, Lowe's Chevrolet of Nathan Hudson. Next round has number 10, Mitchell Collins, and number 6 of Jordan Lopez. Next row down has 33, James Henry, and Matt Haas, who won at Rockingham in the Interstate Bears Pontiac car number 18. Next row down, Nathan Orman in number 40 and number 71, car of Alex Miller. Then it's Zach Winkle in 97, and 16, a car of Julius Anderson. Then it's Henry Sanford in 55 and 21, Marcus Sachi. Then number 20, Brandon Parker, and 77, Paul Minnick. Next round after that will be Adam Flickinger in 23. Outside of that row, inside of that row will be Casey Nanico. And starting shotgun field will be Zachary Fitzwater in number 66, the big Kmart Ford. Again, in-car cameras today will be carried by Chris Dallerton, Kev Shear, and Dylan Young. Those are 3 in-car cameras in today's event. Atlanta, one of those mile-and-a-half tracks where you turn so much RPMs that, well, tracks like this, Charlotte, Atlanta, tracks like this, Charlotte, Texas, and Michigan are all considered to be engine builders' nightmares because RPM count, well, they turn about well over 9 grand going into the turns here, and sometimes in the turns they're probably no lower than maybe 7,500 or almost 8,000 RPMs. So the engines take a lot of strain at these mile-and-a-half tracks, especially mile-and-a-half high bank tracks like this one here. They're about to negotiate here in Atlanta for the Motorcraft 500. Here comes command to fire the engines here for today's Motorcraft 500.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
General Motors holding 3 out of the first 5 spots in qualifying here with 2 Fords in there, with Sky Common starting 3rd and Jessica Shelton starting in 5th position. And among the General Motors cars, 2 Pontiacs and a Chevrolet, which starts outside of the front row of Charles Sanford. The front row, they've had some good runs this season, but really nothing to show for as far as finish positions are concerned. And we know how good of drivers Charles Sanford and Dylan Poteet both are, and of course we'll see what happens. Both these two considered to be championship contenders in this series at least, but then again, anybody in this series can be a championship contender in the NR community, no question about it. Especially here in the NNSCRA banner. Now, for those of you who probably wonder, we have run the current Atlanta configuration before in this series, but obviously it's been a while since we've run it. Green flag race, we are underway here up at the Motorcraft 500. Dylan Poteet leads them down, and Sky Commons giving him a bit of a push there through turns 1 and 2 as they shoot out, as Poteet shoots out front to take the lead. And since they're running in the draft, don't be surprised to see many lap speeds at over 190 miles per hour. Poteet with one strong engine under the hood of that number 22 car. That car in practice and happy hour both ran very, very fast. And of course, its reputation was backed up when it won the pole position today. There's Sky Commons in 9 car, runs in 2nd position. Seth Cole behind, as well as Jessica Shelton. And we all know how much of a love-hate relationship Shelton has with Atlanta, obviously. And she has won here before, but it was in the Dr. Pepper Cup Series that Kyle Matthews runs. So she did win there, and she drove the number 28, the 1990 Davey Allison colors in that race. And who's the person who finished 2nd in that event? The guy you're listening to right now, believe it or not. But anyway, she is running. She barely got past Seth Cole for 2nd place, but now Shane Lake tries to draft off of her right now. That's for 2nd place here. Shelton also ran fast in practice, but she was close behind Poteet as well. So it could be a battle between those two as the race goes on. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. We still got 46 laps remaining in this race, and it's close. They're all running right now. Anyone can be a contender here. And besides Atlanta, usually a very fun place to race as well. Kyle Matthews making his way through the field right now in 24 car. He moves up to the field right now. He had a strong. You remember at Richmond, he had a rocket ship all race long. And that appears to me that maybe what he had right now is a rocket ship here as we ride with Kev Shearer, as he runs right now in 11th position at the moment. Up ahead is Matthews. Actually made that 14th position. Up ahead is Matthews in 13th. And you get what we're talking about in the tachometer right there, that big instrument in the middle. That's the tachometer right there where I'm pointing my pointer up at. Down to about 7,700 RPMs. Now here he goes, off to number 4, 8,500, 9,000, 93, 9,400 RPMs in the turn number 1. That's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This track is very hard on engines as far as how much RPMs they turn. Let's see what happens. He's back on the drive of Matthews' car again, about 9,400 in the turn number 3. Those engines are straining here at Atlanta as we are now riding on board Dylan Young's car. As meantime, Jessica Shelton is taking the lead. As you look on the ticker right there on your screen. And now Dylan Young looks low on Kev Shear, saying, sorry you went up to the high side, but I'm going to take a spot from you, Kev, so sorry. Sorry, not sorry, that is. But Shear's fighting back, though, as he on the high side of Emmanuel Hartnett, who Dylan Young is running right behind right now. Hartnett up ahead in 14th position, Dylan in 15th at the moment. Charles Samper tries to go up on the high side right now as Shear still trying to make that outside lane work, though, but has not been able to do so for the moment. And you're looking at how much Dylan Young turns on his engine. And about the same as Kev Shear, about 9,400 RPMs in the turn number 1. There's the 2 car as Young and he and Shear side by side at the moment as they come off turn number 2. Ford on the inside, Pontiac on the outside. Cat Batson trying to hook up with Dylan Young, trying to shove him past the 36 car. Last lap by for Dylan Young, just over 187 miles per hour here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And there's our third in-car camera. Chris Dalton has our roof cam in this event here today. But right now, Chris up on the high side of the track as he is trying to draft off of Keith Batson's car. Dollarton, of course, testing this mile and a half setup. This may be the setup. This may be the setup he may use for the next mile and a half we go to at Texas Motor Speedway, which is his home track, and also a track where Chris won at last season. As a matter of fact, he looks for 2 in a row when we get there for the Interstate Batteries 500. About 2 races from now. The next race on the tour after this will be at Darlington, South Carolina for the Dodge Challenger 500. And then it's on to Texas after that for the Interstate Batteries 500. And then after that will be 3 straight races on a short track. Bristol, then North Wilkesboro, and then Martinsville. Before as they go through those 3 races. And after that will be the longest and the fastest track on the circuit at Talladega for the next plate race on the season. So that's what's coming up on the schedule. But Darlington is next on the tour after this. Phil Parker running right behind Rob Evans in the number 12 car as they go through the first and second turns. Kev Shear now finally goes back to the left side. He's now running right behind William Brock in number 4 as the Brock trying to get a draft off Dylan Young's car, number 2. And meantime, several cars side by side. And there's the leader of the race, Jessica Shelton, number 94, to McDonald's Ford, as she has pulled ahead to a comfortable lead for the moment right now. That car of hers really fast. Meantime, Jesse Turner and Dylan Young running, trying to hook up and try to get anywhere close to Shelton's car for the moment. Meantime, Pote looks to the low side, goes and looks for position. He's got it. Remember, I said Poteet's got a car about almost as fast as Shelton right now at the moment. Even though the practice sessions said different, Poteet had the faster car in the practice sessions leading up to this event. And he's showing it right now in the draft, though. That car drafting very well. The Pontiac, I think, has got probably one of the most aerodynamic body styles out of those cars there, along with the Fords. So the lap speeds are just time by between the leader and second place for the moment as we complete 16 laps. We now have 34 to go. Shelton at 184.88, Poteet at 185.49. So, and Turner at 185.39. He looks low in the track and he gets second place now from Poteet as they try to catch the 94 car. Meantime, Charles Sanford slides down the racetrack here as he gets by the 9 car of Sky Commons. And Quentin Moore is going to say, hey, this is fun. I'm going to try to get by the 9 car as well. But Sky says, over my dead body you will. And he keeps position for the time being. Commons right now running in 5th position. And up behind it, and back behind is Quentin Moore in 6th. Of course, Quentin's favorite driver, Morgan Shepherd, 3 of his 4 career victories came in Atlanta Motor Speedway and Winston Cup competition. Shepherd winning at Atlanta in spring of '86, the fall of 1990, and the spring of 1993. And meantime, Jesse Turner closing up on Jessica Shelton for the lead as they come off turn number 4, excuse me. Turner, remember, had a great car at Richmond last race on the tour, finishing second to Kyle Matthews, and here he comes for the lead on Shelton in turns 1 and 2. And he's got it. Jesse Turner to the number 1 spot, but Shelton has that high lane working to her advantage. And she keeps the spot for the time being, but Turner's not giving up in that 75 car. In the meantime, Charles Sanford enters the fray in the 3rd position right now in the 42 car. Meantime, Shane Lake in the running in 8th position. Emmanuel Harton at 9th, and Dylan Young running 10th, and right behind him are William Brock, Kyle Matthews, Phil Parker, Rob Evans, Keith Batson, and Cole Deaver. On board Dylan Young's car, number 2. Last lap by for Dylan Young, 184.442 miles an hour. And 200 miles an hour as he heads off into turn number 3 and down about 166 miles an hour through the middle of turns 3 and 4. Young working his way up in the 9th position, but here comes Shane Lake back down low for 9th place. And meantime, Kyle Matthews trying to take that 9th spot, or trying to take 10th position away. He's in 11th. Parker's in 12th. 13th is Brock, and Batson 14th. Nathan Hudson now takes 15th as back behind him are Jay Jefferson, Joshua Osborne, Rob Evans, Joshua Collard, and Cole Deaver. And if you ask Deaver, Atlanta's probably got to be one of his favorite wins without question, because it is in his home state of Georgia, even though he lives actually more close to Daytona than he does Atlanta, because he is about right on the Georgia-Florida line, believe it or not, so he's actually more close to Daytona than he is Atlanta. More cars behind there. Kev Shearer in 36, 44, Mike Becker, Matt Haas, and Chris Dollerton right there behind, and as well as the 20 of Cat Batson and 25 of Johnny Gardner, 55 Henry Sanford, and the 40 of Nathan Ormond. Roof cam from Chris Dollerton's machine. Dollerton running 24th at the moment. Now he just tries to get by the 36 of Kev Shearer. And he gets Shearer loose up the track right there as they come off turn number 4. Dollerton's going to try to capitalize on that. Off turn number 4, he gets a draft off the 18 of Emmanuel Hartnett. Or not Emmanuel Hartnett, but Matt Haas, excuse me. Hartnett's in the 11 car and running in 7th position right now. Now tries to get by the black car of Cole Deaver. Halfway home in Atlanta so far. 27 laps in the books this time by. And we have 23 to go here in the Motorcraft 500. And you can't help but think of this moment in Atlanta between you think of the 18 and 3 cars right there together at Atlanta. You can't help but think of Bobby Labonte and Dale Earnhardt at this race back in 2000 when those two finished side by side, with Earnhardt taking a win by just about a foot over Labani, I believe. And meantime, Dollerton down to the low side of the track in the 60 car as he goes inside of Deaver. And he's got it, and he's got Cat Batson in the 28 car right there behind him. Mike Becker in 44, Kev Shearer 36, and Johnny Gardner in 25. Gardner right now running in the 26th position. He's trying to stay in the draft to try to get a chance at all of making some headway. But making headway right now, it appears, is still Parker in the 5 car. He's now in 11th position, but he's now dropping back by being moved up to the high side. Here comes William Brock to the low side. He gets past him. Now Dylan Young, with the help of Joshua Osborne, 3 Fords in the train right there together. And meantime, Osborne got shut the track by Young's Penske teammate Rob Evans. Evans in the 12, Osborne in 99. And there's the back of the top 10 right there. Kyle Matthews in 9th and Shane Lake running in 10th position at the moment. Charles Sanford up on the high side, as is Poteet. 42 and 22 cars. 90 car of Quentin Moore running in 7th position, about to take 6th away from Poteet. Emmanuel Hartnett in 5th. 4th is Seth Cole. 3rd is Sky Cummins. 2nd is Jesse Turner. And Jessica Shelton is the leader of the race. And here comes Cummins to the left side. And remember, Sky Cummins, he's also not yet won. Sky Cummins has not won in Castrol GTX Cup Series competition. Out of these 10 drivers, he's the only one to have never won in this series. Out of the top 9 cars. So, and Cummins feels like he's got a pretty good car to try to pull it off here today. We'll find out. And if they want to have any chance of catching Shelton, they better stay single file, because, I mean, side-by-side racing is all the more good, but you do stand the chance of losing time to the leader if you run side-by-side and keep making a pass. That's just going to slow the pack down. Lap speeds, let's check the lap speeds this time. Bios, we're coming up on 16 to go. Shelton out in front, number 94. Shelton at 180.915. Turner at 181.86. He's making a run off turn number 2 now. That's Ford's first, second, third, and fourth, and they actually may have the whole top 5 here, because here comes Quentin Moore to the low side of Seth Cole and breaks. And as I said, Ford's now top 5 at the moment, all 5 of them. Seth Cole, the lead GM product, in 6th place here, but make that Kyle Matthews now in 6th place as he gets past Seth Cole. Here comes Seth Cole and Shane Lake in this mix of cars. And meantime, Turner is up in the back bumper of Shelton. Turner to the low side off turn number 4 as they come through the 3rd and 4th turns now. Poetry in motion is just over 180 miles per hour here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 180.987 for Shelton, 181.137 for Turner. They're not that far speed-wise. It looks like we may have a battle for the win shaping up just like last season here as they come off turn number 4. Turner to the low side of the track. Here comes Turner for the lead. Jesse Turner for the number 1 spot, and he's got it this time. No lap traffic up ahead. Shelton up high. And here comes Sky Cummins to the low side now as he tries to take 2nd place. And he's I think he's going to get it. I'm not sure. Off turn number 4, they're side by side still come off that 4th turn. Shelton's got that high line working to her advantage for the moment, but Hartnett's right there behind Commons. They're going to get a draft off each other right now as they're coming down for 11 to go this time by. It'll be 39 in the books. And Shelton not in a really good position. She's up on the high side right now. She has her car works good up high though, but she can't get her way. She can't find a hole back low. And now they're going to go side by side. Here comes Kyle Matthews to the low side. Shelton tries to squeeze in between. A 3-1 off turn number 2. Oh boy, this is getting really good. And Turner got shoved up high. Sky Commons to the lead now. And look who's behind Shelton. The same guy who beat her last season, Kyle Matthews. 10 laps ago, Shelton back to the low side. She's gonna grab the lead again through 1 and 2. And she's got it. And here comes Matthews. He's got Hartnett behind him. And Shane Lake's not out of this mix yet, not out of this yet in the 30 car neither. Don't count him out. This time by Shelton completes lap number 41 in the lead. 9 laps to go. What? Here, I tell you what. She had not been passed for much of this race, and now suddenly we have this epic battle happening. What racing we're having here at Atlanta Motor Speedway at the moment, and this thing is far from over right now. Hartnett looked low on Matthews for second place right now as they come off turn number 4. And it was exactly what I was saying I said too about the cars behind the leader not racing side by side because they stay in a single file draft. They do have a chance of catching the leader, and that's what I was saying. And Turner made a perfect example of that. Led a couple of laps until got pushed and back up in the hot side. Now he's going way backwards this time by. There he is in the 75 car as he's going backwards big time. Seven to go. Sanford to the low side. Charles Sanford begins the roll. Trying for 5th place. He's trying to motion the 45 car Seth Cole to give him a shove. And Matthews looks low on Shelton as they come off to number 4. Matthews says go. Shelton says no. 6 laps to go. Matthews pulling back for possibly a run in a turn number 3. Let's see what happens here. He's got Hartnett, Commons, and Sanford all behind him in the draft. I think they may be cooking up a little bit something here in this last 5 laps. Matthews again pulls up on the back of Shelton, maybe for a run on the backstretch. This is not only a race here at Atlanta, but it's also a 180-mile-an-hour chess game, so this ends up being. Although not quite the chess game you would have at like Daytona or Talladega, but it's that way on any racetrack you go to. Fast lap race so far set by Cole Deaver is at over 188.82 miles per hour. The seeds have slightly slipped off just a little bit as this race goes on. Matthews falling back a little bit. He's kind of trying for a run. Commons trying to pull back, try to get a run on Matthews. Trying to stay behind Matthews and try to get a run. It was at this time last year though. Last season Matthews made that run off turn number 2 and got her. Sanford up the fourth position right now. Seth Cole behind. Joshua Osborne trying to get by Emmanuel Hartnett. Nothing doing at the moment. 2 laps to go, by the way. Margin 29 hundredths of a second between the front 2 cars. Poteet right there behind. Does Kyle Matthews have anything for Shelton this time to try to go 2 in a row at Atlanta? They go through the third and fourth turns this time by. The white flag will be waving. 1 lap to go. Will it be Jessica Shelton or Kyle Matthews in victory lane at Atlanta as they come off turn number 4? White flag! Quarter of a second separating the front 2 cars. Kyle Matthews trying to get a run off turn number 2. Don't know if he's got anything as they come through the third and fourth turns now. Here. Doesn't look like anything's happening as they come off turn number 4 here. And she is finally going to do it. Many times trying. Many times frustration. Jessica Shelton finally wins in Atlanta. And yes, you heard me right. I said Jessica Shelton wins at Atlanta. A track she hates so much in this series. And she does it here at the Motorcraft 500. She picks up win number 1 of season 23 and gets sweet revenge on Kyle Matthews from last season when Matthews passed her with 2 laps to go to win it. This time it was deja vu, but in reverse. Matthews comes on second, third Sky Cummins, fourth Charles Sanford, fifth to Seth Cole. Joshua Osborne comes home 6th, 7th to go to Dylan Poteet, 8th to Quentin Moore, 9th to Emmanuel Hartnett, and Jesse Turner ends up finishing in 10th position. Average speed 183.18 miles per hour, caution free, and Jessica Shelton crosses Atlanta off of her bucket list of races won. So we'll give you the rest of the finishing order here. Average margin of victory, 0.3 of a second between the front 2 cars. Don't say Matthews didn't try, though, in those last few laps. So 11th will go to Shane Lake, 12th to Joshua Collard, 13th Dylan Young, Phil Parker 14th, William Brock 15th, Cat Batson 16th, Nathan Hudson 17th, Chris Dollerton 18th, Jay Jefferson 19th, 20th Kev Shearer, 21st Keith Batson, 22nd Matt Haas, 23rd Cole Deaver, not the run he won in front of his home state fans in Georgia. Nathan Orman 24th, Mike Becker 25th, 26th will go to Henry Sanford, Johnny Gardner 27th, Paul Minnick 28th, Zach Winkle 29th, 30th Marcus Sachi, 31st Ryan Brommer, Mitchell Collins 32nd, Jordan Lopez 33rd, James Henry, Brandon Parker, Julia Sanderson, Alex Miller, Casey Nanico, Zachary Fitzwater, and Adam Flickinger. The finishing order here. Rob Evans was the only car out of the race with an ignition failure on his number 12 Mobil 1 Ford. Sad way for Evans to end his race at Atlanta, but still, but yeah, get that problem all solved up, and for Rob Evans is prepare for Darlington, which is next on the tour in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. Darlington Raceway started in South Carolina for the running of the Dodge Challenger 500. That will be next on the tour, the 5th race of the season. But after all those frustrations, all of those near wins, and didn't do it, and all those times she got wrecked out of Atlanta too in this series, she's finally done it. Jessica Shelton wins the Motorcraft 500, holding off the man who beat her last season, Kyle Matthews, at Atlanta, and spoiling Kyle's chances for 2 in a row, I might add, too. As we head to Darlington, I bet she'll probably want to take that car to Darlington, I'm sure, too, as well, which is her home track as well. Anyway, if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the channel. We got inner races, gaming videos, whatever president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole's Race channel. And be sure to check out Seth's Duracell Cup Series, which is ongoing right now. And also keep up on the Michael Roman's Bowser All Pro Series and Levi McIntyre's Marvel Studios Cup Series on his channel, ThrashManiac99. And be sure to subscribe to that channel as well, because there's some great stuff on that channel as well. So that's the story from Atlanta Motor Speedway here. And we head to Darlington Raceway next in Darlington, South Carolina for the 5th stop on the tour. And for now, this is James Paulson in production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best. We'll see you at the track Too Tough to Tame at Darlington.
Frank, did you have any initial comments?